Hello and welcome to the Alone Zone podcast. That's how I will label this, since it's an audio form. In this particular podcast, I would like to talk about a TV show and a person, the host, the creator, that I have for the last 3 years. I've had a very, very, very disdain for, and it's because I believe in the fakery of what he's doing. And if anybody follows me, then you know what I'm talking about. And this person is Nev Schulman, the creator, the founder, the host of Catfish. The guy continues to put a product that is not entirely real. And if there was a disclaimer that the names of the people aren't real, that certain situations are not real, to sell the show, fine. But the fact is, he's portraying the show as 100% legit, and I'm tired of it. And something needs to be done. This guy needs to be brought down. For the sake of all the people who were truly, quote-unquote, catfish. And I hate even saying it, but that's what it's called. He even got a definition of it in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. I believe that for all of us who were truly screwed over by someone on the internet, that it had our hearts ripped out of our chests, that a guy will go on and put on something so fake, and every time we watch it or hear about it, it reminds us of what we went through was legitimate. And for me, I didn't have the technological advantages of today. And what bugs me the most is in today's technological world, the fact that you can get screwed over by somebody is asinine. I'm on the low end of the totem pole when it comes to life, as far as monetary status. I have no way to video chat directly in real time, but I do have a camera that can record. And so, I did have a camera that recorded video, and I will soon. The thing is, while I couldn't video chat in real time, I could video chat with someone the archaic way, which is I record a video, send it to the person, they record a video, they send it to me, and vice versa. Sure, that is the archaic way, but with YouTube and other video sharing services and email, it can be done. And the thing is, people go on this show and they put up fake pictures and make a fake Facebook page. And you notice how these are always Facebook. There's not Google Plus or any other, profile sites. It's always Facebook, which lets me believe that Nev Schulman has some type of agreement with Facebook. Even his movie back in 2010, Facebook, which I believe he took advantage of a medium back in the time when the movie came out. He was hearing about people making fake profiles and lying to people and screwing them over as far as online dating. So he wanted to take advantage of it, so he put together a fake movie. He called it and capitalized because Facebook was just becoming huge back in 2009. It was just like, it had been around, but it was really starting to take off. And with the show, he goes around finding college students or people who seem like they would look like they would be easily fooled, and he puts together a story and sells it to the TV. All I want is for the guy to come out and say, hey, my show's not real, it's reality television, and it's a scripted series. Then I wouldn't have a problem. It wouldn't bother me as much. But the fact that it's continued to be portrayed as real, well, that's a problem. And you can say, well, you don't have to watch it. But I do watch it, and the reason I do watch it is just because it's because the premise of the show happened to me in my life. So I watch it just because, boy, wouldn't it be awesome if this guy was really genuine and was really like, because like, I don't think this should be happening in today's society, and I believe he's running out of ideas for his show. That's why it's uber fake. And the last episode with the transgender person was super fake, because if this transgender person who was so insecure in themselves, the fact that the guy was willing to give this person a chance even after he found out, huge news. He was willing to sit down, talk, and be open to the idea. And the fact that this transgender person just blew him off completely tells me it's fake, because if a person is transgender and is so insecure in themselves, finds somebody and doesn't tell them, but then they find out through this show, and the person's actually willing to give them a chance, and they're not jumping for joy and like so relieved that, oh man, he's giving me a chance, he's not blowing me off, he didn't cuss me out, whatever. The fact of the matter is that the transgender person completely walked off and just wanted nothing to do with it, shows me that it's fake. Because if you're that insecure with yourself, you would be so happy if the other person was willing to sit down and talk with you, and it seemed like they were willing to let it go. That's how I know that show was fake, and that's why I'm making this video, because the last episode really put the nail in the coffin of how fake this show has become. And all I want is a disclaimer in the beginning. So for people like me who were truly catfished, we don't have to sit and be reminded and be appalled at the fakery going on, knowing that it happened to us. See, what I'd like this show to do is to get people like me. Now, when I was catfished, you're talking almost 20 years ago, 97, 98, 99. AOL. If you had AOL, you were the shit. Everybody had AOL. If you were somebody, you had AOL. We had our dial-up modems that went, and that was not a good impression, but you get the idea. And it goes, just picture a bunch of static. I don't have the sound, so I can't add it. I may add it in the video. I may edit me doing that. But if you hear me doing it, a bad rendition. But we had our dial-up modems. We would get so pissed when we would try to get on AOL, and you would hear a busy signal. And depending on where you lived, you only had a few numbers. You may have only had one number. Hell, you might have had to live someplace where you had to call long distance, and your parents didn't know about it, but you really had to get on that AOL. We didn't have video chats. We had chat rooms, and we had tons of them, and AOL was the shit. And it was a breeding ground for getting lied to and scammed, especially for those who were having trouble dating in real life. Myself, I was a teenager. I wanted to date. I was into girls. It was my dream, my only dream, to meet a girl, fall in love, and have a family, and live a nice, normal, somewhat life. And so the internet was I couldn't make friends in school. I was ridiculed, put down. You know, just like I hated school. I went from being a straight A student to a straight F student and failing in 10th grade multiple times. All because I couldn't handle the way people put me down. I didn't have the mindset or the willpower or the strength to deal with it. So AOL was my, like, oh my God, my escape. I could actually go on AOL and be myself. But I didn't have to worry about people. People could get to know me before passing judgment based on my looks. So I could go on AOL and I could be myself without them judging me. Then they get to know me, and then when they meet me, it's not such a big deal. At least that's what I thought. And what I want Catfish to do is to find people like me who are catfished in an age, in a time where we didn't have video chats, like I said before. We didn't have text on our phones. And even if you were in a time, maybe in the beginning stages of video chat and texting and all this stuff, all I'm trying to say is, for those of us who didn't have the technological advantages, come to us. Take a guy like me, for instance, and find those 3 girls that catfished me. See how their lives went. See what they're doing today. Let them see how I'm doing. Let them see how what they did to me is still affecting me to this day. No, Nev won't find somebody and put on a story from the past. Although it would be an incredible story. It would be real. It would be honest. Unlike his fake show right now. Take a lonely loser like me who's down on his luck, severe depression and anxiety. And find the 3 girls who catfished him in the late 90s to see what their lives, if they're happy. Because it could be, maybe they're in a similar situation as I am. Or maybe their lives are so great. I just want them to know what they did to me was wrong. And how I'm doing and how it's still affecting me. And I'm still having issues with trust and meeting people. And, how I'm still dreaming. So Nev Schulman, if he was to take people like me who truly were catfished in a time where the advantages weren't there for us to where being catfished was actually possible, then I'd be okay with it. But he won't do that. You see, I've reached out to Schulman. I've Facebooked him. I've messaged him, whatever. They're not going to put a guy like me on there. They're going to put their fake show on. Even though a story like mine would actually tug at the heartstrings and actually get ratings, to see this lonely loser whose life is terrible right now as far as friendships, none. Dating, no prospects, only have one dream in life. And to meet the 3 girls who, at a young age, left such an impression on him by what they did to him that it caused him to become suicidal and attempt suicide twice. Yeah, see, that's a story. That's a real story. But old Schulman won't put a story like that on. So, in this little, I'm not, a podcast, okay, well, let's call it the Alone Cast. Maybe I'll trademark that name if it's not too expensive. The Alone Cast. Because I'm a loner by myself. And I'm casting out my feelings and my thoughts to the world. So in this pilot episode of the Alone Cast, we're talking about Nev Schulman. And how the catfish show is fake. And how he needs to be brought down for it. And he needs to just admit it. Your show is fake. Put real people who were truly catfished and hurt on there. That's all I'm saying. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate for this Alone Cast, this audio recording. I'm sure I'm going to get some trolling. Fine, whatever. Nev probably has fans and people are going to defend him. Fine. All I want is just the truth. Is the show real or is it fake? And another thing that leads me to believe it's fake is the people who appear on the show must sign a contract stating they will not disclose any details about the particular episode for, I believe, it's 5 years. Or it could possibly be for the rest of their lives. But from what I was searching, I do know that in the contract they have to sign a stipulation stating they will not reveal any details of their episode. Now, one thing said 5 years, another thing said potentially lifetime. But either way, it's looking like if you have to sign that, then they've got something to hide. And Catfish was here in Pensacola, my hometown. And I tried to find the guy that was on it because, look, he was on a television show. That's public information. I typed in the name of him and the female that was on that episode. Nothing. Which leads me to believe that these people are using fake names on the show. Now, if the show was real, but to protect them, they put their fake name, used a fake name, or gave them a fake job, or said they went to another school. I'm okay with some fake aspects of the show. I get all that. But the entire thing is fake, in my opinion. How in the world can you be catfish with the technology we have? If you're going to put yourself out there and you're going to go to the internet to try to find somebody because you have not been able to in real life, then you're going to safeguard yourself. Okay, because if you're turning to the internet, it means you've had a hell of a time in real life. So that means you've got trust issues. That means that you're going to be more safeguarded. Okay, sure, you're depressed and down more than likely. The internet's probably your last resort. But people have met on the internet, got married, had families, and went on to live great lives. So I'm just saying, scanners are readily available, but you don't even need scanners anymore. Back in my day, you had to have a scanner to put a picture online. Now, you take a picture, you get a USB cable, you hook it into your computer, and boom, upload instantly. Back in my day, you had to get a 35mm disposable camera or an actual camera, and 35mm was just the average film size. You take pictures. You have to go to Walmart or Kmart or Walgreens or CVS Pharmacy. You have to pay them to develop those pictures unless you knew how to do that yourself. Then you take those pictures to the public library and scan them if you were poor. Like me. My public library at the time didn't have a scanner. They were around $500 to $1,000 back then, and they may still be that expensive. I don't know. I doubt it, because the technology is old. But that's how we have pictures on the internet. I only had one, because, like I said, the public library here did not have a scanner until the early 2000s, and when this happened to me was the late 90s. Had a cousin, ran a computer shop. He agreed to scan one photo for me, and all I had was one photo that I wanted to put up there. So again, I was not confident, but I wanted to have a photo just in case. And, this cousin did not live, well, he lived in Pensacola at the time, but he moved away. So there was no way I'm going to travel just to get him to scan new pictures. And I didn't know anybody else because I didn't have any friends. So all I'm saying is, in today's world, to be catfish is asinine with the ability to upload pictures, with the ability to search someone, check them out, check names out to see, if somebody makes a fake profile, gives you a fake name, you can search that name. You can see if they tell you where they live, what their name is, all this stuff. You can see if that name is real, if they live in this city. You have too many advantages today to be catfished. Again, with the video chat, even if you don't have Skype or don't have a tablet or don't have a smartphone, if you're poor like myself, you can still video chat because you can get it from a thrift store, a digital camera for $10. They can record video. You record a video, you send it to that person, they record a video, they send it to you. While it's not in real time, it's still video chatting technically. That way, that person sees you're who you say you are, and they are who they say they are. So that way you cannot possibly be catfished. The only people who are getting catfished legitimately are the ones who are absolutely at a low point to where they just don't care. They need somebody to talk to. I'm almost at that point, but because this has happened to me in my life before, and even in 2008 to a certain extent, while the person was who they said they were, their premise and their basis for talking to me was just totally fake and erroneous. It was a scam, and watch my videos, search through my videos, Cruel Person in 2008. I'll put links to those videos in the description if by chance you have not seen them. So let's just say this happened to me 4 times. This would never happen to me again. And so I just want this show to say that it's fake. Say that, hey, we're just doing this for entertainment purposes. But to also take people like me and get us on the show. I'm not the only one. Many people got screwed over back in the day. Some people probably got over it. Some people like me didn't. For those who didn't, find us, seek us out, put us on the show. Let me find those 3 girls. See if they even remember me. Because I spent many a night in '97 talking to this one girl in the chat room, and instant messenger, IMs. Remember the IMs? Oh, those were great. Those were freaking awesome. You know what we had? We also had, you could hook a microphone up, and in the instant messenger, they had the microphone button where you could, say your voice. So that was pretty cool. So you could actually hear the person. We didn't have video chat, and video camera technology was actually around then, but it was super expensive, and you got pixelated non-real-time images. Images were all pixelated and they just didn't register. That's because the internet connections were so low back then. They did have satellite internet and LAN, I guess is what it was called, or was it T1 or T3? You had to be rich to have those. Most people just have 56K dial-up like myself. So, you know, for all those who truly got catfished, that show was, just a mockery to us, those who were truly hurt. Nev Schulman is wrong, and something needs to be done about him. And somebody needs to start a true catfish show, a true show about people. I just want to see those girls, those women now. I just want to see how they're doing. Because like I said, I spent a many a night in 97 on Instant Messenger and chatting with this girl. 6 months, the girl in 97. It was 4 months in 98. And then, I should have learned my lesson by 99. In 99, I actually talked for 8 months before we met, which makes it even harder. But that's because I was kind of like, the experiences I'd had previously, I was like dragging it out. But anyways, my throat's dry. I'm gonna end this alone cast, and like I said, I'm gonna get some hate for this. Hopefully I don't get too much, and hopefully there are people who understand where I'm coming from. So appreciate it. And as this video runs, you will see images of Mr. Schulman, and hopefully he does not sue me for slander, because I'm not really trying to slander the guy. I just want the guy to help people who truly need it. I need closure. I'm 33 now, and this happened to me when I was 15, 16, and 17. But I still want closure. I just want to know if these girls remember me, and if not, we can jog their memory the best of my ability. And I just want them to see what they did to me was wrong, and how my life has been affected because of it. So that's it, and that's all. I appreciate it, and maybe, just maybe, I'll have the ability to return to normal videos real soon. Alright guys, this has been Chris Strickland with the pilot episode of the Alone Cast. Thank you for listening. As always, peace.